if I'm ready to talk about it. So, where are you and what's on your mind?
I'm in Florida, New York. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm originally from New York, but I'm in Florida right now, next to Orlando.
Okay.
And how about yourself?
Originally I'm from Scotland, but I've been living in Slovakia for the last 15 plus years. And so I'm right now in central Slovakia, right in the heart of Europe.
Nice, nice, nice. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm standing on my balcony and I'm checking out the hills and the forests, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice kind of evening here. So, motivation. So, what's your motivation to talk about motivation?
Well, I don't know. I'm a motivated speaker by nature. I like to motivate people and make sure that they get the best of life. Because sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we have a tendency to just taking things for granted. And life, it's one of those things you got to take it easy. If you're in a rush, you're gonna crash.
Yeah. So how did you get into motivational speaking? What's the road that took you there?
Well, I was in the military here for a long time, and when I got out, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I decided to go right ahead and help the youth. I started being a motivated speaker just for the youth, going to different schools and providing my services. And
Okay.
It went very well, and then I wrote a book. My book is called Success Life.
Success Life, yeah.
Yes, and it's won a couple of awards for here in the States on motivating people and getting straight to the point. Just whatever you want to accomplish, get in there.
Okay, so how much did being in was it the army or the military? How much did that sort of help get you motivated and get you going?
I was in the United States Marine Corps.
Okay.
Yeah. So what ended up happening, I when I first went in, I didn't know what to do with my life, and I went in and I loved it. It was one of those things that instantly when I went in, I thought to myself, "This is for me." I love it, and I helped mold the youth in the military a little, and I loved it. And then when I got out, I just wanted to do the same thing, and here I am.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So, what is it that's kind of missing in people's world or life that requires this extra help, to get people motivated to do things? What's your perspective on that?
My perspective, what's missing is motivation, right?
Okay.
And what I mean by that is a discipline to go day by day doing what you want to do and what you want to accomplish in this world. I'll give you a good example, if I may, Graham.
Yeah, sure.
I think that discipline is the foundation for everything you will do in your life. Whatever you want to accomplish without discipline, you're not going to get there. And a lot of the youth nowadays don't understand that. They don't understand that having the discipline to be able to embrace disappointment, be able to go right ahead, and when something goes wrong, and instead of quitting and your goals, learn how to take a break. So for me, that's something that I learned in the military, the discipline to wake up every morning with a task in my head to go get it done, basically a mission. And then they're understanding that not every day is going to go your way. Sometimes you're just going to have a bad day, but you don't quit. You just reassess your game and continue going. So I think discipline is the number one thing that we're missing nowadays.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wrong is the road to right. Yeah.
So Graham, what do you do? What motivates you? What brings you into this conversation of motivation?
Okay, well, what brings me into the conversation is that I'm always intrigued and interested by new technologies and this whole anchor system where people can meet and talk about whatever's on their mind with other people who are interested in the same subject. I mean, this is that's part of my motivation. Also, I have a company which is the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching. So what I did is I started about 15 years ago with a language school, and people came to me for help with learning languages. And I realized that the main problem that they had was not that they needed a language to solve a problem. It was that they thought that the language was going to solve all the problems in their life. But, people know that there's something wrong, but they don't necessarily know what it is or why it is. And so once you get to once you get all the basics learned in language, then it's like, okay, what do I do with it now? I've picked up this amazing tool that I can use to communicate with the world. Now, how am I going to use it to make things better?
Exactly.
And so what I discovered is that I kind of slid into the business coaching and life coaching because people need this clarity that they don't have. Everyone's caught up in their own world, and they're doing the same or similar jobs every day, and they just forget there's a bigger picture. They forget there's other things going on in the world. They forget that there's another way to do things. They forget that there's more than one answer to every question, and that there's more than one question.
That's right. I mean, sometimes if you look at the life with one pair of glasses, you will never see anything different. All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you know. But if you take a step back and you would invite people that care for you and people that love you and people that are willing to give you, see, I don't believe in negative criticism. For me, criticism is always positive. I've never seen, for me, personally, a negative criticism. So when I get somebody in my life and I ask them, and I love to ask questions, I ask them, you know what do you see from me? Where do you see me? How do I sit in your eyes? And it's great to get other people's feedback and understand that, you know what, the way that I see myself and the way other people see me is two different images. So I'm not trying to mold myself into what other people see me, but I do that to understand what do people see out of me and what can I offer them as a friendship. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What a gift would God give us to see ourselves as others see us.
Yes.
I believe that's a line from an old Scottish poem. And you mentioned discipline, and what I find interesting about the word discipline is the religious context of that, because you've got disciple, right, as in follower. Yeah, so I mean, it's a very, very powerful word from a religious context, because how we organized our Western world, built on sort of a Christian philosophy, came from the writings of the disciples, whose aim it was to emulate the person that they were following.
Right.
And so that's a culturally very powerful principle, the principle of discipline.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a very old word and a very old concept. The ability to have self-control.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the ability to have self-control is one of the biggest things you could ever master as a human being. Self-control is one of those things. If you don't master it, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, yeah,
because you're going to be subject to your emotions rather than the facts of the situation.
Exactly. You know,
because you're just going to be. Sorry, continue.
I tell people, if you can't master discipline, then it's the old saying: failure to prepare is preparing to fail. If you don't prepare yourself, you're gonna fail. So therefore, you need to take a step back and have the discipline to see everything around you. Because if not, your peripheral vision will get you lost, dazed, and confused. You need to see everything around you and see what is it that you want out of the image you're seeing, and go and get that one item that you're looking for. Let it be graduating college. Let it be owning your own business. Let it be waking up on a daily basis and telling yourself, today I'm going to have not a good day, not a decent day, but an outstanding day. A day that, you know what, is going to be reminded in my head for the rest of my life. I'm going to make sure I get 100% out of this day. Whether it's hanging out with my friends, whatever the case is, you need to have the discipline to stay true to yourself.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that I've noticed when helping people get organized is that they have either too much going on or they're surrounded by too much chaos, and they require a little bit of simplification.
Right. Yes, I'll give you a great. It's funny because it's my first time using this app. That's the first time I ever use it, and I just did one of my presentations about 5 minutes ago. Somebody told me about this app, and I decided to download it and start using it. And my presentation was about making sure that if you have negative people around you, you need to make sure that you show them the door. You know, you need to make sure that everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
everybody in your life is like sending. It's like you give them a job interview application. They need to qualify to be in your life, because the number one problem with negative people and people that can't help you is that they find a problem to every solution. They're out there. If there's a solution, they're gonna find a problem for it. They're gonna say, "Well, that's not gonna work, or this isn't gonna go your way." You know what? Quit, whatever the case is. So, so I always tell people, have to discipline enough to believe in yourself and trust yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, get the negative people out of their environment. I mean, you don't want to get like everybody who says everything negative out, because you still want to be able to accept the criticisms that people have. Right. But for sure, there are toxic people in every situation, in every environment. If someone's working in an office full of people, there's going to be somebody who's not pulling their weight. There's going to be somebody who's doing something stupid and getting on your nerves, right? Yeah. And I think friendship and trust is something you earn, right? Yeah. People tend to sort of give away their time and their trust and their friendship sort of automatically, but that really needs to be something that you work at, and that people earn trust from you. Maybe also people earn the truth from you, because you're not necessarily going to tell everyone everything, right? No. I always tell people that we as humans have multiple personalities. We all have multiple personalities, because I mean, Grandma, I would tell you this: you will act completely different with your wife than what you do with your friends. You will act completely different than what you do with your mom than what you do with your wife. So therefore, we mold ourselves depending on the people we surround ourselves. And in a good way. It doesn't have to be in a negative way. It's just that we can't always be monotone and just at one simple way. We have to be fluid. And like Bruce Lee said, we need to be water. If we put in the vase, we need to yeah. Absolutely.
It's good for us to know our environment. Just like you go into your office to work, you don't conduct yourself the same way that you hang out with your friends, that you go and go get a beer with your friends. You don't do the same thing as you do at work. It's just a different environment, so you have to conduct yourself depending on your environment.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's probably something that the Marines taught as well. I don't know if you went through that experience there, but that just strikes me as something that, you're going to be able. You have to adapt to the environment and the culture that you're in a little bit. You got to look at what's around you and go, okay, I can do this. I can use this here. This is the way to communicate with these people. And it changes, because you don't, communicate with your colleagues in the office the same way as you do with people in the pub or with your grandmother or something like that, right?
Exactly. And we need to be smart and brave enough to know when it's appropriate and when it's not, and most importantly, when to conduct yourself in such a way. And a lot of people don't understand that with this youth nowadays. I tell you what's going on. A lot of this youth nowadays, they're used to, I don't know your age, but Grandma would assume that when you were younger, they didn't have the technology that they have now. All this iPads and iPhones. So when you were growing up and there was you had a problem with one of your classmates or anything, you went and confronted him or her. And she confronted, or she or he confronted you, and you guys spoke about it and fix it. Nowadays, to send out a text, what does that mean? That means that these kids can answer back whenever they want to. They could take a step back, relax, associate it, and think about the whole situation, and then answer back whenever they feel like it. That's crazy to me. When I was young, people confronted you. You had to fix it right then and there and tell them, hey, look, I apologize for what I said. I'm sorry, or whatever the case is. But nowadays, these kids with the technology, they're disconnected from the real world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy for them. The speed of it is unbelievable. I mean, I was think about it this way. When I was a kid, I used to cycle 5 miles to my friend's house, right? And maybe he wouldn't be at home.
Yeah. Well, it says in my phone here that again, it's the first time I ever used this, that the maximum recorded time is 15. So I wanted to thank you for this amazing conversation. Thank you for entertaining this beautiful people that's going to listen to us if they get a chance to. Thank you for everything, Graham.
Okay, sure. Maybe we can hook up again. I think what I can do is I can drop you a little message through this system, and maybe we can talk again about something that's important for us.
Send me a link. I'm always interested.
Okay, super. Well, good luck with everything. Good luck with the motivation, and keep heading in the direction you're going. 'Cause